Welcome to GeneralWo's Let's Play Napoleon Total War, the Italian Campaign, Episode 4. Now, I've been doing a bit of thinking and I'm going to skip the campaign for the most part because it's not that exciting to watch. Instead, I'm just going to sum it up in as highlights, so to give my battles some context, but mostly I'm just going to show you the battles and other significant events on the campaign map. So, to sum up what I've done, I've left my weakened units in here, in Turin, where they can regain their strength. I have sent all new units, which most of them come from Nice and some come from Turin, on a course to Milan, which I'm about to invade. I've started a trade agreement with my protectorate, which gives me a small amount of additional income. 223 gold. And right now I have my forward unit, Boileau, and and he's seen that the entire city is protected merely by the citizens and there's no professional army here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scare them into surrendering without firing a single bullet.
Commencez le siège!
Normally it's a good idea to kill off as many troops as you can, because they might pose a threat later on in the campaign. However, with armed citizenry, that doesn't apply, because this is a free unit you get by arming the citizens. They won't defend any other cities, or they can't move around the map. So there's absolutely no harm in not killing these off. In fact, these are the citizens that live in the city that is about to be subjugated to my glorious rule, so why would I kill off my future citizens?
Cessez le siège!
There we go. They love me. Excellent. No need to loot them. So, I've gained a new region, and next door is Lodi, which is also protected only by its citizens. And if I'm quick, I can capture the city right now in the same turn. So, let's leave some units behind in case the enemy pops up.
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres.
And let's go and
Comme
join
rat
my
en cage.
glorious empire.
Levez le siège.
2 cities in 1 turn. And another advantage is because because there was no fighting involved, none of the buildings in the city are damaged, so they immediately provide me with a profit in this turn instead of in the next turn when they've been repaired. And then I'll get back to you when it's time for another battle, because this one of course wasn't very exciting yet. Okay, it's time for another battle. I've received orders to take Mantua, but to do that I'll have to get Parma first. And Modena too, probably, so they can't attack me from behind. So what I've done, I've taken my armies from Milan and Lodi, which are not necessary to repress the population, and I've moved them into this town here so that the enemy can no longer benefit from whatever this town has to offer. Nothing at the moment. But that's usually a good tactic. If you put your units in one of those towns, the towns will be of no use as long as you have your army there. This is my army. It's
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres, monsieur?
And here's my scouting unit. And this army is relatively strong. There's still a few armed citizenry involved, but some actual soldiers as well.
Prêt.
So
Préparez-vous. Marchez.
I'm going to merge up these guys. I have some units
Prêt à recevoir vos
coming from
ordres.
over here, but as you can see, they
Attaquez.
can't walk all the way to join the fight. And I have here Mr.
Oui.
There we go. They also won't be able to join us, maybe as reinforcements. Let's see, as far as I can get them.
En avant pour la couronne et le pays.
Attack. our favour. And indeed, I can use these reinforcements. I could potentially auto-resolve this, but I'm going to play it because it's far more interesting to watch. So, see you at the battlefield. So this is my deployment. It's fairly standard. I've put the cannon in the middle. I've surrounded the cannon with infantry, and at the sides I've put the cavalry. And in the back I have my grenadiers and my general's bodyguard as reinforcements. The enemy has deployed its cannons on the sides and put the infantry in the middle with its entire right flank composed out of armed citizenry, and at the far edges a unit of cavalry. Now unfortunately my reinforcements came all the way from the other corner of the left side of the map, and it took a while for them to walk all the way over here, but they finally arrived after 20 minutes. They did get a few cannonballs lobbed in their direction, but they didn't really get hit, so there was little risk. I kept my cavalry, my chasseurs à cheval as reinforcements. I kept them close to my cannons so the cannons would not be charged by the opponent's cavalry. And now it's finally time to deploy my cannons. And look what happens. The enemy line immediately starts moving, realizing they can't just stay there anymore because I'm going to blow them to bits from a distance. So they have to charge me. Now when I'm opening fire, notice that I'm not shooting the targets directly in front of the cannons. I'm trying to shoot at a slight angle. This way you shoot diagonally and you potentially get more casualties. Now I've noticed that the cannon over there is unprotected, so I'm going to move my cavalry forward to deal with it. However, the opponent's already charging me with his own cavalry, so I move my chasseur back into a line, hoping to get a few shots off before the melee battle begins. Unfortunately, I'm a little too late, and only the unit on the left actually managed to get a full salvo off, and the one on the right only a few shots. Now I told him to switch to melee, and within seconds the unit is annihilated. It's always a bad idea to charge frontally into a unit that can shoot you, unless they're busy reloading.
Sir, our general is under attack.
One of my general's bodyguard got hit by a loose cannonball. No big risk here yet. And with the opponent getting into range of my canister shot, I switch and now aim for targets directly in front of me. Slightly change my line to face the enemy. And here in the back you can see my cavalry about to destroy the cannon. Because these are chasseurs à cheval, I wait before I charge in with the second unit. Otherwise I will shoot my own men in the back. But before they reach the cannon to join in with the fight, the cannon's already wiped out. Then I tell them to move on to the second cannon, which is also sitting there unprotected in the back. The opponent has sent forth some armed citizenry to deal with my cavalry, but they won't be able to keep up, so they're not going to pose much of a threat. Now the enemy's finally reached my little hill when I'm camping on, and the firefight has begun. Here on the right, my chasseurs are getting shot up by that single unit of infantry. So I send forward my own infantry to deal with them. And I send my chasseur to get behind them. The idea is that his unit will face my infantry, and I can then charge him in the rear with my chasseur. What I want is happening. The enemy is turning to face my infantry, and I send my chasseur forward to charge, including the ones coming all the way from the back, which have just finished destroying the enemy's second cannon. Unfortunately, I make the same mistake again of putting two chasseurs behind each other, and I end up shooting quite a few of my own men in the process. However, the unit is quickly wiped out, and I reform my lines to encircle the enemy.
Glorious victory, sir! It's soon to be yours!
As my advisor is telling me, I've almost won. And on my left flank too, I encircle the enemy. At this point the enemy has about 4 units left. About 5. I change my lines back to a normal straight line instead of this horseshoe shape to face them again. It's always best to face them head on. On my right flank, the enemy has only one unit that is not routing, which is his general. And he's charging for me, but I counter-charge with my chasseur. And within a few seconds, his general and bodyguard are completely annihilated. I tell my chasseur to start mopping up. All units have routed, and the battle will be over in a few seconds. There we go, victory. Now all that remains is to do some mopping up, and after I'm done with that, I'm rewarded with a decisive victory. And I get an achievement for killing lots and lots of soldiers. These are the results of the battle. As you can see, I've completely wiped out the enemy's army. There's nothing left, and the enemy's only managed to kill a few hundred of my men. But once again, I've lost more men than the enemy's actually killed, so it's a bit high on the friendly fire count. I choose to peacefully occupy the city as I want to keep the population happy. And with that, episode 4 is over. Did you like it? Please press the like button. It will help me get more publicity. And if you would like to see more, press the subscribe button to receive notification of updates. See you next time.